if he's not ready to go for a full match, at grand final intensity as well. It's not like he can just ease his way into it. I would say probably 70-30 he's not playing in that match.
Yeah, it'd be a big call, wouldn't it? And we've seen these sorts of big calls in matches before not work out. Was it when Saints played Warrington? I think it was under Holbrook rather than Wolf, wasn't it, against in the Challenge Cup final when they played, was it Coop played when he hadn't been playing?
Yeah. I never like the idea of rushing players back just because it's a marquee match. I think you play the guys who've been playing well wherever possible, and if you play who you've got. And Hopewati didn't play last week. Saints were still intense and brilliant when they needed to be. So yeah, I think they go without him.
I do think their attack is much better when Hopewati plays, especially since Dodd's been injured. But you can't take a risk in a game like this.
You can't have him pulling up after 10 minutes, can you?
And that's probably what would happen.
Possibly.
Because he's not really been fit for most of the year, has he?
No, exactly. He hasn't been. It's not like it's a one-off either. He's been very inconsistent in terms of his appearances.
Yeah. Although the 10 games that he has played in Super League have all been wins for St Helens. He's got the best record in Super League this year, 100% from 10 games. No one else has played that many games and not lost.
That wouldn't change my thinking.
That's irrelevant.
but it's an interesting little stat, I would say.
What do we think then on this one? Where are you landing at the moment on this one?
I'm very undecided. I think it's going to be very close. I'm veering towards history playing its part. I know St Helens have banished the grand final hoodoo, but Leeds have beaten them every time in grand finals, and I'm going to stick with it, but not by much. Leeds by 2.
I'm going Saints by 7. It'll be, the best run of finals, of end of season finals since Wigan won, I think, 5 or 6 in a row, including they were all Premiership finals, not grand finals, but in the 90s. So, it'd be certainly the best in Super League history, wouldn't it? The 4 in a row, and whoever wins this will be out on their own as the person that's won the most Super League grand finals. It is a shame that we have to pull out facts like this, but there's been more St Helens versus Leeds grand finals than there has been winners of Super League.
Yeah,
because this is the 5th grand final they've played against each other in.
Indeed.
Although a 10-team Super League apparently fixes that. I really don't want either team to win, Alan. I don't think I could stand either set of fans winning, but I don't know which one. Like, Leeds winning a 3rd from 5th, basically being not good enough all year, but then timing it right. I don't like that necessarily, but Saints winning anything ever, I don't like that. I do think Saints are still the standard. I think if they'd have kept Lewis Dodd fit all year, then they would have been a different matter. I did say at the start of the year, Alex Walmsley's fitness decides whether Saints wins matches. But Passy has been better than I expected.
Yeah, he has. He was very good on Saturday.
And Leeds was able to play big minutes. However, will they be able to do that without Knowles doing a lot of the dirty work? And I mean dirty in terms of
every sense of the word,
tackles rather than the dirty that we saw him doing last week. But Knowles has done a lot of the niggly work, the extra effort work. You can't get that sort of level of performance and consistency out of a combination of Bell and Winkfield and LMS filling in for that sort of role, can you? So that is an issue. Missing your two best forwards is an issue. But I still think St Helens have got the best player on the pitch in Johnny Lomax. They've got the best winger on the pitch in Tommy Makinson. They've got the best hooker on the pitch in James Roby. I still think Saints will be good enough.
You make a very good argument. I'm just going with the weight of history.
Fair enough. We don't know what the fans thought because I forgot to do a poll because my mind's been elsewhere. I am still hoping to go to this match, but I'm a bit poorly, so I don't know if that's come across in my voice during this recording. But I've got 2 tickets because I thought you'd be coming with me, Alan, and then it turns out you sacked me off for your wife, which...
wedding anniversary, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but it's my wedding anniversary as well. Closer to Saturday than yours.
Well, obviously I just care more. I mean, there's no...
I've worked out what the difference is. You still then would have to have like your dates at a weekend where you can sort out babysitters easier and stuff like that, whereas we can just do what we want because we have children.
Exactly. This has been very carefully planned.
Yeah.
Weeks in advance, I'm afraid.
So if I am well enough to go, I've got a spare ticket and I would love for someone to come with me to the match. So, please feel free to volunteer yourselves to come with me. If I can't go, if I'm still poorly by Saturday, then there'll be 2 free tickets going spare, which I'll be happy to send on to someone and they can have. But yeah, I guess get in touch and watch this space.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll provide frequent medical updates.
Yeah. Championship playoffs. Semi-finals in the Championship out. Lee versus York on Sunday at 2 p.m. and then Featherstone versus Batley on Sunday at 4 p.m. Both shown live on Premier Sports. What do you make of these two as our Championship expert?
That's very strong words. I think the second one will be a lot closer than the first one, but I still think it'll be Lee and Featherstone. First one, Lee probably by 14 to 20 points. Second one, a bit closer, probably Featherstone by maybe 2 scores, maybe. What about you?
I'd love to think Batley could throw an upset in. I feel like they have that, about them. I think, if I'm honest with you, I don't think it matters because Lee are going to win the final anyway.
Yes, I have. It has a feeling of inevitability about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does to me. So it's almost like I've not lost interest. That'd be too harsh, but I haven't been as engaged with the Championship as I have been in some other years because from that point on where we saw in May, we saw Lee dominate Featherstone in the 1895 Cup final, and then, since then you've never really felt like Featherstone were the same team that they were that beat Lee in week 1, or was it week 2? But anyway, back then.
Yeah, back in the dark and dreary days of February, it was very different. Yeah, by May these teams had gone, their positions had completely flipped around, and it hasn't got any closer. So yeah, it's Lee by how many, unfortunately, and combine that with this weird situation of teams in the playoffs that probably don't want to be in Super League and all that kind of weirdness. I understand your feelings about it. I do, because I do feel it myself. But I've got a subscription, so I'm watching them. But there you go. But yeah, I think it'll be Lee Featherstone, but I think it'll be But that doesn't mean I don't want Batley to win, because part of me would absolutely love it.
In League One playoffs, Doncaster versus Rochdale Sunday at 3 p.m. So sandwiched in between those games. I don't know if that's going to be shown on any platform, but the winner of that will play Swinton the week after for the right to play in the Championship next year.
Indeed.
So please, everyone, do get your fan reviews in on those matches. Any other rugby league that you follow over the next week. I think, am I right in thinking that there's some Prime Ministers 13 games against PNG down under? And obviously there's the semi-finals of the NRL as well happening down under. So yeah, plenty to get excited about. We're now going to move to wrap up the show. Right, Alan, wrap up time. And you messaged me in the week saying you've got an idea for a quiz, but you seemed annoyed that you had to then follow through on doing that quiz.
I think you're reading too much into text into a text interchange there. No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm slightly concerned because you've already answered one of the questions.
Oh, okay.
But I suppose what I will say is I'm going to make this going back to his point earlier, a Dr. Bob friendly quiz. So and it's not
all Ryan Hall questions.
Well, it's not that Bob friendly. It's
Bob friendly, not Bob arousing.
Indeed. So yes,
I've still got hard about the French news, so I'm aroused.
There you go. That's too much information. Question 1. So if you can remember what you said 2 or 3 minutes ago, see whether you can get this right. So including 2022, how many times will Leeds play Saints in the grand final?
It's the 5th time.
It is. Can you remember what years they played each other previously?
Was it 7, 8, 9?
Yes, that's right so far.
And 11?
Yeah, that's bang on.
It was 4 of the 5 in a row that Saints lost, wasn't it?
It was. And then you did them a service in 2010.
Yeah.
So you've also slightly mentioned
one of the best grand final team performances ever, that one by Wigan.
Yeah, well, you got to cling to these things, haven't we?
Yeah, I loved it.
So, second question. Again, you've slightly mentioned this. The team will go out in front. Which team has the best winning record in grand finals? Is it Saints or is it Leeds?
They've both won 8.
But as a percentage of final appearances.
Oh, as a percentage of final appearances. Leeds have only lost like 1, 2, 98 and 2005, I think. Whereas Saints have lost, well, at least 5. So, in a row. So I'm going to say Leeds have the better win percentage success rate.
That's your logic is perfect. Leeds have won 8 out of 10. You named the 2 that they missed, and Saints have won 8 out of 13.
Yeah, they must have lost one to Bradford as well, mustn't they?
What, Saints?
Oh no, that was just those 5 that I mentioned, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just those 5 in a row. Other than that, they've been perfect.
It was Wigan who kept losing to Bradford.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we've got one of the 2 victories against Leeds. So, last question. Of all that we've talked a little bit about, lack of diversity in winners, etc. And this is the 5th time that Leeds have played Saints. How many unique matchups have there been in the grand final of the iterations so far? Fixtures that have only happened once.
Once?
Yes.
Oh, right. So, like, Wigan versus Leeds wouldn't be one because that's happened twice?
Exactly.
Right, okay.
How many unique fixtures have there been?
Okay, let's work backwards. Saints Catalans, Saints Salford, Cass Leeds. Okay, that's 3.
Yeah, you're going back in time a bit now.
Wigan definitely play Warrington more than once because they beat them 3 times. Leeds beat Warrington at least once. 2012, I think. That was the year Wigan should have won it, but Sam Tompkins got injured. I
win it.
can't think that they've played more than once then. So I'm up to 4, aren't I?
Yeah.
Wigan